You may recall reports of unidentified flying objects out of Stevenville right here in North Texas earlier this year. Now comes word those sightings are continuing with new appearances on February 2nd and 9th. Our Jim Swift spent the past 2 days talking with some of the hundreds of witnesses.
Dublin, Texas, home of the world's oldest Dr. Pepper bottling plant. Just down the highway a few miles, Stevenville, Texas, known far and wide as the state's dairy capital.
Wow.
But over the last few weeks,
Close encounter for the third kind.
these communities and a wider swath of north central Texas have become the epicenter of the country's latest outbreak of UFO fever.
A big, long area of bright, intensely bright lights.
The lights, or the navigation lights, are what I saw.
They were extremely bright.
In a line, in a straight line, and so long.
What was so odd, these lights were flashing like a strobe.
A strobe that just kept going and going and going.
I have a drawing that I made.
Other lights would start doing stuff.
It appears to be maybe something like this, and it's just spinning around.
It had kind of a flat bottom on it. It was round, kind of gumdrop shape.
It would look like kind of like a light show.
They were not just strobing, they were moving around.
It was like an energy field of some sort going through the center of it.
In an instant, they were gone.
As reports and rumors spread, the military denied having any activity in the area, only to admit a few days later, yes, there were 10 jets training.
The airplanes, the jets following the lights right over the top of my house, and it shook my house.
I could clearly see that they were jets. I could clearly hear that they were jets.
They weren't training when we saw them, and especially that late at night. You know, I'm not trying to say they're lying or anything, but they've lied once.
It somewhat tarnished their, I guess their word, or whatever you want to call it, their credibility.
But in the end, the big question remains, what's up there?
I think there's other stuff out there. If it's getting close to the end like everybody says it is, and maybe they're coming back here to see the same thing we're waiting for.
This didn't just happen. It has a cause, okay?
All right, if that's the case, what might that cause and effect be? Well, it turns out a consensus may be developing.
You know, for years, all the time I was in the military, they've always wanted to have some kind of a hovering device that was silent, and it was also big.
Either some type of new weapon or new craft or something that they're working on.
But if it is aliens,
we've had no reports of lost cows. We've had no reports of lost milk, and no reports of lost cases of Dr. Pepper. So I think they left empty-handed.
But if they took nothing, they did leave plenty of curiosity behind. In Erath County, Jim Swift, KXAN, Austin News.
Well, as you can imagine, there is already a website devoted to the Stevenville lights. You can find a link to it and other related items at KXAN.com.